50% of seniors are struggling living paycheck to paycheck. Now, there's been a lot of talk this year about increasing Social Security benefits. But what are the real chances that Congress and the president are going to support an increase to Social Security benefit? There's currently a proposal to increase Social Security by $2,400 a year. That gives you $200 a month in extra benefit each month. So let's examine what the president is looking at. What are the ideas that have been put in front of President Trump to try to make life better for seniors this year? And as I mentioned, over half of seniors are struggling living essentially from one Social Security check to the other. So I'm going to talk about the real ideas, the ones that have a chance of actually passing Congress and getting signed by the president. My name is Kwame Kwade. I am a personal finance expert and a government benefits expert that has been doing this for 15 years. We've been bringing you content around how to get the most from Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and food stamps. I'm also an adjunct professor. I teach finance to graduate students at one of the most prestigious universities in the country. Now, if you're new here, I really, really appreciate you being here. And I hope that at the end of this broadcast, you would have at least find value in what I'm going to share with you so that you would be encouraged to subscribe and like our posts. So, first, let me know where you're watching this video from. Do me a favor, go into the comment section and let me know your city and your state. But let's dive in and talk about seniors and why all these proposals that are in front of the president, what do we think have realistic chance of getting passed in today's Congress? The first idea is the Social Security Expansion Act. This is a $2,400 increase in Social Security benefit that was introduced by Senator Bernie Sanders and Warren and others that would boost Social Security benefits for all seniors, an extra $200 a month for every beneficiary. This would provide immediate and significant relief to seniors struggling with rising costs. The impact is that it's projected to lift millions of seniors out of poverty, addressing the fact that over 26% of seniors currently are living off less than $17,500 a year. The plan funds the benefit. Basically, how they're going to pay for this is by raising Social Security taxes and making people who make more than $250,000 pay Social Security taxes. You may be aware currently only people that make up to $176,100 pay Social Security taxes. This will move that limit to $250,000 to make sure that it catches more people, and it will help raise taxes and will broaden the tax base so that more money will come into the Social Security system to be able to afford to give seniors a raise. One of the reasons why seniors have not gotten a raise, like a big jump in Social Security increase, because the Social Security Trust Fund is under severe stress. There's not enough money there to support a larger increase. This would help do that. The second proposal is a new minimum benefit. If you're getting the lowest Social Security benefit possible, this idea is going to bring you $500 a month increase. So what is this? There's pending legislation in Congress that will set a new minimum Social Security benefit for low-income workers that will put it at 125% of the federal poverty level, which will increase the minimum Social Security benefit that anybody can receive to $1,518 per month. So for the lowest earners, it will be an extra $500 or $6,000 a year. This change will directly benefit seniors who spend their lives in low-wage jobs, reducing their senior poverty in that category and providing them a secure retirement. Idea number 3 will be to raise the full retirement age. Now, why is that a help for seniors? Well, the thing is that Social Security is supposed to run out of money by 2033, the trust fund, which means that there will be an automatic 21% cut in benefits. And this is going to affect especially low-income seniors. By raising the full retirement age, at which this is the age where you get 100% of the money that you've paid into the Social Security system, by raising the full retirement age, it helps slow down that problem. So it will address about 30% of the projected shortfall in the Social Security Trust Fund, which will extend Social Security benefits and avoid that cut that's going to happen automatically in 2033. So even though For example, raising the Social Security retirement age from 67 to 68 alone is going to help extend the Social Security Trust Fund's solvency by almost 20 years. And so that is how more money can be put into seniors' pocket for a very long time. Otherwise, if Congress doesn't do anything at all, if things stay the way they are, we are on a path where by 2033, even some are projecting that there will be a 25% cut in Social Security benefits for everybody, because that is the amount of money that will be coming from payroll taxes to support Social Security retirees. Let me know what you think about these ideas so far. Go into the comment section and share your thoughts. Idea number 4 is COLA adjustment. Now, there's been talk about the current COLA not being enough. And the primary reason is that cost of living adjustment is calculated with an outdated methodology. And so this proposal will support raising the cost of living adjustment for seniors so that every year you will get a bigger Social Security raise than you were getting. This year it was 2.5%, and there's been proposals to get it to 6% a year, which experts think is the most realistic amount of money that Social Security increases need to meet in order to keep up with inflation. But then there's the opposite side of that equation, where some people are suggesting a reduction in Social Security COLA because they think that increases in COLA is what is also dragging the Social Security Trust Fund into insolvency. So there's both sides of those coin. I think that the fairest thing for them to do is to adjust the formula that they use to calculate Social Security increases so that seniors can get more money each year. Another proposal is to increase the amount of money that is coming into the Social Security system by raising the Social Security tax rate. Currently, Social Security benefits are funded by 6.2% employer rate, 6.2% employee rate. Together, that forms 12.4%. And if you are self-employed, you have to pay the entire 12.4. So the idea is to raise it to 6.5% over a 6-year period. Why would they want to do this? Well, it's because that brings in more money into the Social Security system. It supports the solvency of the Social Security Trust Fund, and it extends the Social Security Trust Fund's future further, so that when we reach 2033, the automatic 25% cut that is supposed to be happening would not happen, because more money would have been brought into the system based on an increase in the Social Security tax rate. The sixth proposal, which I think is the best proposal, and I don't know why they haven't done this yet, is to remove the cap. Currently, as I mentioned, only $176,100 in Social Security income is taxable. So if you get your annual pay and you make more than $176,100, none of the increase will be taxed. Only the first $176,100 is subject to Social Security taxes. Well, the problem is that there aren't enough people working to support the current number of retirees. And so the best way to really increase the amount of money that's coming to the Social Security Trust Fund will be to remove the cap, so that if you're making $1 million, you pay taxes on the entire $1 million. If you're making $1 billion, you pay Social Security taxes on the $1 billion. If you're making 500,000, you pay Social Security taxes on the 500,000. That alone would extend the Social Security Trust Fund by 75 years. And so this is probably the best proposal in my opinion. I want to hear from you in the comment section below. What do you think about this proposal to increase Social Security taxes by raising more money into the system? And if you do this, even if you raise it to 500,000, where anybody making 500,000 or above pays more in Social Security taxes, it will bring in a lot of money, as this example shows. Somebody that's making 500,000 would have paid right now $10,000, but with the change, they will pay $31,000, about 3 times what they are paying right now. That will bring in more money into the Social Security Trust Fund and allow for pay increases or Social Security benefit increases for seniors. And the proposal that I think is going to be challenging to implement The most challenging one will be this one, which is means testing Social Security benefits. What does that mean? Essentially, means testing is where they determine how much Social Security you're going to get based on your income. So if you are in the higher income category, you get less benefits. And if you're in the lower income, you get a lot more. And this idea ignores how much you have paid into the system. So currently, how much you get is based on how much you've paid into the system. Well, this will ignore that and base it on how much money you have in terms of where you fall into the income bracket. And so people who have significant means get less social security benefits because they have a less need for it, versus people who are struggling get more social security benefits because they need the help. So that is the seventh proposal. And as I said, of all the proposals, I think removing the social security cap is makes a lot of sense to me, and increasing social security by $2,400 a year also makes a lot of sense to me. And then the second proposal, in giving those who are receiving the bare minimum in social security benefits, giving them a $600 increase a month, is also something that I think Congress and the president should get behind. So I've presented you with the seven proposals. I want to hear from you. Which option do you think you would pick to help seniors this year, especially those that are struggling to make ends meet? I want to hear from you in the comment section below. And then, as I always do in my lives, today I'm going to answer some questions that I have received from you guys. So if you have any question that you want me to answer, go into the comment section, leave it there, and I'll be happy to look and research and bring you an answer in my next video. So the first one is from Marcus, 60-year-old truck driver from Georgia. My earnings have swung wildly. Some years I have made six figures. Other years I barely worked. How will Social Security calculate my retirement benefit? And is there anything I can do to maximize it before I retire? Well, Marcus, yes, there is something you can do. Basically, Social Security is calculated by 35 years of earnings, your highest 35 years of earnings. So if there are years that you did not work, they're going to put zero in those categories. So now that you are 60, the longer you work, the longer you replace those years that you had zero. And so that is the best strategy of what you can do to increase your Social Security check now, because your full retirement age is probably 66 or 67. And once you get there, if you wait till your full retirement age, you will get all the benefit that you've paid into the system. So you have another 6 or 7 years, and working those 6 or 7 years helps you also replace those years that you did not work, and they're going to put zero in there, but now you have an opportunity to turn that around. The next question is from Tasha. I am 66 years old, retired librarian from Illinois. I spent my career under a public pension and was always told my pension would wipe out my Social Security spousal benefit. Now, with the Social Security Fairness Act, what would change for me? Well, as you may know, the Social Security Fairness Act was to fix this problem where people who paid into a public pension but also worked enough to get Social Security benefits were given less to Social Security benefits, or actually, in some cases, didn't receive Social Security at all because they were getting a public pension, even though they've worked and qualified for both. Well, the Social Security Fairness Act removed that limit. And so if you are eligible for spousal benefit and, under public pension, your Social Security benefits will not be impacted because that law has been repealed and replaced by the Social Security Fairness Act. And you may be owing money all the way through January 2024, because that is how far the law goes retroactively if you are eligible. So call the Social Security Administration and find out details about whether you qualify for the Social Security Fairness Act. Third question is from Hector. I just reached full retirement age. My career included 20 years as self-employed contractor, 15 years at a large corporation. I'm worried my self-employment income wasn't properly reported. How would that affect my Social Security, and what should I do if I spot errors? The best thing you can do, Hector, is to go to the Social Security Administration and get a statement of your earnings. Every year you've worked and paid into Social Security, they have a record from the IRS. Audit that record And then if you find errors, bring proof, especially if they have underreported your income. Bring proof to them that, hey, this is what I made, this is what you've recorded, here's the difference, I need you to fix it. Because that is going to determine how much Social Security benefits you're going to get. Remember, I told you Social Security is based on 35 years, the best 35 years that you've worked. And so if they are underreporting some years that you actually did work, then it's going to affect how much you're going to receive because of that. So it's important to call them and audit your earnings statement. This question is from Layla. I have been on Social Security disability for 6 years. My doctor says I might be able to return to work. How would this affect my SSDI, and what programs can help people like me trying to work again without losing everything? Well, there is something called Trial to Work program that helps you test whether you can work as somebody that's on disability. But there's a limit to how much money you can make. It's called the substantial gainful activity limit. So make sure that you understand what that limit is and that you are not breaching that limit, because if you do, you are jeopardizing your SSDI benefits, and it may be reduced or even eliminated altogether if they feel you have what it takes to return to work full time. And so, yes, you can start on a trial basis and see if it's something that works for you, but be careful about the earnings limit. Next, we have Frank. I waited until now to claim Social Security. I'm also a widower, and my late wife received a much higher benefit. Should I have claimed her survivor benefit first and then switch to my own, or did I miss out? Well, currently, did you miss out? Well, it depends on how much you would have received, because survivor benefit actually gives you more money versus spousal benefit. But the thing is that you're age 70 now, you are entitled to the maximum based on your own record. And so the question is, right now, based on your record and getting the maximum at age 70, would that be more than the survivor benefit you would have received? Whichever is higher is what you should get. So you should reach out to the Social Security Administration and let them calculate both. And then you can decide which of them is higher for you to be able to then file your formal claim for that benefit. And then we have Simone 62. I want to work part-time while collecting Social Security. I also have a small pension from my job overseas. Will my foreign pension or my earnings affect my Social Security? And how do the rules work for people with international work histories? Well, the thing is that you working and collecting Social Security at 62 means that you are collecting benefits before your full retirement age. And essentially, there is an earnings limit. It's about $23,400 this year that you have to pay attention to. If you go over that limit, you are going to lose $1 for every $2 you go over that limit. So that is the main thing you have to watch out for, is that if you're going to make a ton of money working part-time and collecting Social Security, you have to calculate whether it's going to be worth it, because once you breach that limit, every $2 you go over it, you're going to lose $1 in your Social Security benefits. But here's the thing. Everything you lose, or the money that is taken out of your Social Security benefits because you were working before your full retirement age, is going to be paid back to you when you reach your full retirement age. So that money is not lost forever. It will come back because they will have to recalculate and credit you back that money. So you just have to weigh both of them and see what makes sense for you. So those are the questions. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them in the next video. I want to talk to you about Medicare very quickly. Our partner, Chapter Medicare, has been doing an amazing job with the people we've been referring to them. And when we get testimonials, we want to share with you, because I know some people watch our videos and are not sure whether Chapter is the real deal and can really get them into a better Medicare plan. The service is free to you. And here is Michelle S. that went through an amazing experience with one of the Chapter agents. She was diagnosed with cancer. She had to move out of state during that same period. And so if you know anything about Medicare, setting programs are state specific. And so now she had to get a new plan. But then the window was already closed. Chapter was able to help her not only get a new plan, but now she's scheduled for surgery for her cancer. and she could not talk enough about chapter. The last part of it, she said, bottom line, don't hesitate to use chapter. You'll be happy you did. So call the number on your screen, 539-205-2147. If you're turning 65 or you're currently in a Medicare program and you don't like your program or you think you could do better, these are the guys. They are advocates and they are in your corner. And when you call them, they will review every option that is available to you, which doctors, specialists, prescription drugs, hospitals that are covered, and what the co-pays cost, and help you compare that plan to traditional Medicare. Guys, these guys are the real deal. They don't, a lot of Medicare companies pay their agents to push specific plans. Chapter doesn't do that. They're there in your corner. They are your advocates. They want to see you in a better plan, in the best plan. So call them today. They're highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, 5-star reviews and A+ rating. And did I mention they can save you $1,100 a year? So it's a no-brainer. Give them a call today. And then finally, if you want to stay on top of what's happening, news updates, discounts, senior financial assistance programs, and anything in and out of Congress that could affect your benefits, sign up for our newsletter. Go to benefitsinsider.co/subscribe, enter your email address, and you will be on the insider list. Or go to the top of our YouTube channel. There is a link in there. Click on it, put your email address in, and you'll be in. And I tell you, this newsletter is packed with information that you don't want to miss. So sign up today. So that is all I want to bring you today. If you like what you heard, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate your support. And I am looking forward to seeing you tomorrow on another video. Thank you for watching.